My name is Karen Marshall. I live in Washington, D.C., and I've been a caregiver for about 10 years. I've been a family caregiver for both of my parents. First for my mother, who had cancer. She died about 8 years ago. And a couple of months after she died, my father got ill, and he's had a variety of health problems for the past several years. Most recently, he was diagnosed with dementia.
My name is Stephen Vieser. I live in Monmouth County, New Jersey, and I had the privilege of being my mom's caregiver for the past 3.5, almost 4 years. My experience with my mother as a caregiver really began in 2008 when she was identified with Alzheimer's and began struggling in 2010, 2011 with adding and subtracting.
I'm Moretta Copeland. I live in the greater Richmond area, actually right outside of Richmond in Chesterfield County. I have been a caregiver for 17 years now. I have a daughter who has a wonderful daughter. I have 2 children actually, but my youngest, my daughter, has a developmental disability. And so I've been her primary caregiver ever since she was born. Caregivers
need people championing their cause because they need support. It is the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life.
Support that meets a caregiver where they are takes into account all of these different circumstances that you can't necessarily predict. It's easy to say that caregiving is done a specific way, or to tell a fellow family caregiver that you should do X or you should do Y, and that's not necessarily the case. Support that meets caregivers where they are helps them find tools to adapt their situations. And if they're able to adapt to whatever this journey throws their way, then they're able to better address their own needs and avoid health risks, and also be able to advocate for their loved ones.
We see the champions as one way that we can begin to help implement that action step. It's important for the general public to understand that this issue affects everyone. Champions are important because they allow us to begin to have a space at the table of legislation being created.
Well, we need caregiver champions because caregiver champions are in a position to make decisions. My biggest thing is funding. I work with so many families who all they need is respite. They just need to have a break. Having someone that they care about and that they trust to care for their loved ones while they're at work would be huge. We just need more caregiver champions.